Coming up on the April 1st edition of Sports Extra, Carolina's holding out for a hero against Johns Hopkins. This biker loves to jump around, not just at basketball games, but on campus too. And the top-ranked baseball team is barreling along. Sports Extra starts right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics, this is Sports Extra.
700 wins. That's how many Coach Roy Williams has, but he won't win 701, at least not in Chapel Hill. Williams is no longer the head coach at UNC, fired after a slightly disappointing season. Williams has led the Heels since 2003, and his record is 282-79 here at Carolina. Rumors say athletics director Bubba Cunningham might reach out to Mike Krzyzewski to take over the Tar Heels. Hello and welcome to Sports Extra, the April 1st edition of Sports Extra, Carolina's only sports highlights, analysis, and issues show. I'm Natalia Perez.
And I'm Madison Way. Some would say it's the April Fool's edition. So for the few of you who just bit on the spoof, Coach Williams is still the head coach of the Tar Heels.
But it will be several months before Williams can get to win number 701, after the men's basketball team got knocked out of the NCAA tournament by the Kansas Jayhawks for the second straight year in a row. Here are some highlights from the season.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Bullock, Page, another jumper. This one's for two, and he hit it again. What a big shot by the rookie.
Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Come on and slam, you want to jam. Hey, yo, what you gonna do?
It's a race to the rim, and you know that Dexter's going to win that 4 times than not. I'm pretty sure the roof is going to pop. Hairston deep, contested three is good. Whoa!
Welcome back.
Hairston.
Welcome back to Greensboro, big fella.
Voice of Jones Angel, the voice of the Tar Heels, and color commentator Eric Montross. Music was from Space Jam, and as kid president would say, I love Space Jam. And the season might be over for the Tar Heels, but that wasn't the case in early April 1993. This week, 20 years ago, Dean Smith won his second NCAA championship. Carolina beat Michigan 77-71 in the final, thanks to Chris Webber calling a timeout that his team didn't have. Donald Williams scored 25 points against the Wolverines, making 5 of his 7 three-point attempts. Williams was the most outstanding player of the tournament. And here's a lesson in how to become an instant hero. Flashback to Saturday's men's lacrosse match against 10th-ranked Johns Hopkins. They played in Kenan Stadium instead of Fetzer Field to prepare for the ACC tournament,
which will be played later in Kenan later this month. So, Kenan, remember that name. Early on, the Heels seemed to like the new environment. They scored 4 goals in the first quarter and led the entire first half. Here's Marcus Holman, the captain of the team, finding the net. He had 2 goals and 2 assists in the game, and he looks pretty excited about that. But Johns Hopkins hung around and even took a brief 1-point lead in the fourth quarter. It's tied at 10 at the end of regulation, on to an extra period. Opening face-off to sudden death overtime. RG Kenan doesn't like overtime, and he wants to go home, so he's going to take it all the way to the goal to give the Heels the 11-10 victory. Kenan and Kenan. So how'd you do it?
I mean, I was just fortunate. You know, I won the face-off, run down, confident in my shot, and stuck it. I mean, I was just blessed, just fortunate.
And after a game-winning goal like that, you have to be the athlete of the week. And RG Kenan, the Tar Heel hero, joins us now live in the studio. So you had a real battle Saturday in face-offs, taking 11 of the 24, but the most important one you got. So take us through that game-winning goal.
You know, the first thing I thought about was to, make sure I got the possession. Wasn't really thinking about scoring. I just wanted to get the ball from my teammates, give it to scores like Marcus Holman and Jimmy Bitter and Joey Sankey. But got lucky enough to run down the field. Nobody picked me up, and I kind of just hoped for the best. Not really much of a scorer, but I ran down, got a good opportunity, and just grateful that it went in.
So what was it like playing in Keenan for your first time and the first time for the team since 2009 in the ACC Tournament Championship game?
It's a great feeling. It was awesome having the Blue Zone open. All the alumni were back. A lot of guys, Matt Holman, Thomas Wood, Mark Staines, a bunch of alumni guys coming back. It was awesome to play for them. They were up there. They were having a great time in the Blue Zone. And, after teammate and I, Ryan Creighton, scored down at that end, we got to look up and see them celebrating. So that was definitely a lot of fun.
And you'll be playing again in Keenan soon for the ACC tournament, but you seem to be at your best right now, beating 3 ranked opponents just in the past week. So how do you keep that up?
Just keeping up our intensity and our focus as well. Just having good weeks of practice and making sure we're going out and doing the little things right. Listening to Coach. Coach is doing a great job preparing us and just making sure we're going out and having fun. I think that's one of the main things.
All right, well, thanks for joining us, RG. That was RG Keenan live in the studio, this week's hero for the lacrosse team and your athlete of the week.
And the women's lacrosse team can't lose. 2 road victories make it 11 straight wins for the Heels. Carolina beat Duke in overtime on Thursday and Virginia Tech on Saturday. The Heels haven't lost since their first game of the season since February 9th.
Diamonds are a girl's best friend, and and the baseball team's doing pretty well as well. So let's look at the Heels so far this season.
The Heels had just 1 loss heading into the weekend series against the Clemson Tigers. The Heels jumped out to an early lead against the Tigers on Saturday, behind junior catcher Matt Roberts' 3-run home run. It was his first of the season, and that was all junior ace Kent Emanuel needed. He went 8 innings and allowed only 1 run. He's now 5-1 on the season. His ERA is a minuscule 1.6. Carolina never let up offensively either. Junior Parks Jordan singled up the middle in the 8th inning to drive in Carolina's 10th run of the game. Final score, Heels 10, Tigers 3. And coach Mike Fox says Kent Emanuel was the most important player of the game.
100 pitches is nothing for Kent Emanuel. It'd be a lot his freshman year when he weighed 180, now he weighs 225. So we don't like to take Kent Emanuel out. You can probably tell that. We just keep running him out there because really 125 pitches to Kent Emanuel is nothing.
Rain halted the game for 2 of the series on Sunday night. The 2 teams finished that contest Monday afternoon. Final score in that one was Heels 6 and Tigers 2. The Heels run their record to 25-1 on the season. That's the best start in program history. Game 3 of the series is Monday night at 6 at Boshemer.
Another series win for the softball team. The Heels beat Virginia Tech this weekend. The Heels won the series opener Friday 3-2. First-year Jenna Kelly says the Hokies wouldn't back down.
We punched first, they punched back, so it was exciting. So what we need to do is keep punching back. If they're going to throw the first punch, we got to punch back. We can't just sit down and just let them take control.
Unfortunately for Kelly and the Heels, the Hokies did punch back. They won the first game of Saturday's doubleheader 7-6. But the Heels took the rubber match with a 5-1 win to snag the series. Coach Donna Papa says she's proud her team rebounded after Saturday's loss.
Our girls did a fantastic job of being mentally tough because it could have been really easy in Game 3 to just kind of, back off a little bit.
The Heels are 25-13 this season and will be in action again Monday at home against Appalachian State. Classes, practice, and a social life, difficult for any student to manage all those, especially student athletes.
Absolutely, and imagine being a student athlete from another country. Janelle Davis introduces you to some Tar Heels who call countries other than the United States home.
Sophomore Saucy Ammer is the starting field hockey goalkeeper. She has called Chapel Hill home for the past 2 years, but as an exchange student from Germany, she is still adjusting to life in the U.S.
I would say everything is kind of unexpected. For example, that the national anthem is playing before the games. We don't have that in Germany.
Ammer is not alone. She represents Munich, Germany. In total, there are 32 international athletes representing 16 different countries.
My name's Katie Bowen. I'm from Auckland, New Zealand, and I play on the women's soccer team.
My name's Chad Tutton. I play on the men's lacrosse team here at the University of North Carolina, and I'm from Ontario, Canada.
I'm Samantha Travers. I'm from Zimbabwe, and I'm on the field hockey team.
The Director of International Students and Scholar Services, Elizabeth Barnum, says it's challenging for international students to adapt to a different culture.
You almost have to become an amateur cultural anthropologist. And what does an anthropologist do? Observe, participate, ask questions.
Coach Shelton believes international students are key to the team's success.
It's the basic fundamental skills that are established at an early age that make the international players a little more advanced than a lot of our American kids.
Almer misses her friends and family in Germany, and she also craves
my mom's food. Everything my mom cooks is great, so excited to go home and just eat.
German sausages, beer, and chocolate. Even more to share with her teammates in the States. In Chapel Hill, I'm Chanel Davis.
Of the 26 varsity sports at UNC, 18 include at least one international athlete. And all work and no play would make backup quarterback Caleb Presley a dull boy.
We'll tell you about his hobby that keeps him from becoming one.
Connect with us online by liking the Sports Extra Facebook page and following us on Twitter @SportsExtra_UNC.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a dad
One more
today.
time. Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at energysavers.gov.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Good job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Oh, you should pick that up. Oh, you're such a dork. Loser. Here, let me help you with that. Oops.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Oh, look. Your crush is looking at you. Or you.
They want to help, but don't know how.
See, no one here's gonna help you, because no one
Teach your
likes
kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
NFL Pro Day in Chapel Hill means that, with their Carolina football careers complete, several Tar Heels worked out for their football future in the NFL. The players ran drills in front of scouts and coaches. 30 scouts were in Chapel Hill, and there's Cincinnati Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis. The drills included a lot of running. You can see wide receiver Eric Highsmith right there. He ran a 4.6 40-yard dash. And plenty of agility drills. There's running back Gio Bernard with a fast feet. Pro Day not only showed players a glimpse of what it's like at the next level, but also gave them the chance to impress scouts and improve their draft stock. These Tar Heels already have impressed the scouts. Bernard is the highest rating running back prospect according to NFL.com for April's draft. Expect to see him drafted in the second round, maybe even earlier. Guard Jonathan Cooper could be a top 10 pick. Defensive tackle Sylvester Williams should also go in the first round. Nothing new for Carolina. A Tar Heel has been drafted in the first round in 4 of the past 5 years. Williams says no matter which round he gets drafted in, just making the NFL will be a big accomplishment.
I look at it as, for me, it's about proving people wrong. Because for myself, I knew I could do it all alone, and I know I had to really do it, so being able to do it and being able to achieve that goal is being able to prove everybody wrong and showing everybody that I'm a great guy, I'm a great player, and I got a bright future.
Backup quarterback Caleb Presley was working on his website instead of participating in timing day. He started crib calls almost a year ago.
Most posts were devoted to, well, whatever he wanted, with a hometown focus. The website has had a makeover, though.
But its purpose is still the same, and Marilyn Payne says the humor is still one of a kind.
His website followers use the term crib in reference to their hometown. One of Presley's favorites, calling crib on his high school AC Reynolds and other former players who also play college ball. But there are many other things to call crib on.
Anything that I can associate with or, have similarities with, I'll call crib on it.
At first, the crib-inspired website offered an insider take on everything from the NFL draft to C-Tops to training camp. Football wasn't the main focus, but it was intertwined with Presley's other summer activities.
So I think the biggest mistake anybody can make about my website in general, or about me in general, is to put me or my website in a box, because I'm kind of scatterbrained a little bit. I have an itch for a lot of different things. I love football, but at the same time, I love other things.
During the 2012 football season, most of the site's posts included a crib call from the Asheville native, Presley's way of showing Rocket pride and maintaining other hometown relationships. In-season posts also included material about that week's scheduled opponent. Since the end of the season, the site has changed, but it isn't intentional. It's just Presley doing what he feels like doing.
I have interest here and I have interest there, and I just want to be everywhere. I don't want to be in one world, whether it's creative, academic, if it's athletics, relationships. I want to be everywhere.
And his website allows him to reach everywhere. When it comes down to it, the site's the type of outlet Presley thinks everyone should have, especially those who put on uniforms and play for their schools.
So you're kind of in a system, and you're kind of like a little pawn in the big game. And so I think it's good maybe that someone has a website. Maybe more people should have websites.
Maybe other college athletes will take that advice. In Chapel Hill, I'm Marilyn Payne.
Presley and his teammates took to the road this past week, traveling to the biggest city in the state to give the folks there a preview of the coming attractions. And the Tar Heels held an open scrimmage at Mallard Creek High School in Charlotte on Thursday. Admission to the scrimmage was free. The Rams Club and Carolina Athletics held a tailgate before the scrimmage where you see Coach Fedora signing autographs. The various parts of the squad ran nearly 150 total plays, and the running game was a highlight of the session. Carolina will practice at Grimsley High School in Greensboro on Friday, and the spring game is April 13th.
Twists and turns are nothing new for this Tar Heel.
We'll introduce you to the Gymnast of the Year after the break.
$7,000 high school students drop out every school day. Let's catch them before it's too late. To start helping students in your community, visit boostup.org.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. But it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
My daughter.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
track and field Tar Heels have a couple of things to hang their hats or cleats on after some success at the Raleigh Relays. Some of Carolina's seniors led the way with quality performances. Jacinda Evans finished second in the long jump in her first meet after redshirting the indoor season. The All-American teammate Krishawn Williams finished fourth. The men's team got an encouraging performance from sophomore A.J. Hicks. He placed in the top 7 in 3 different throwing events and finished third in the discus. Coach Harless Metters says the meet was an opportunity to set the bar high for the rest of the season.
It's still early. We've got some time to improve. I think the team's got to come together a little bit closer, and the coaches, we've got to continue to challenge them to really push them forward.
The Heels will be competing in Florida and at Duke this weekend.
Each year, the East Atlantic Gymnastics League honors a distinguished athlete with the Gymnast of the Year award. This year, that award goes to a Tar Heel. Ali Macione introduces you to her.
Not many were surprised when senior Elizabeth Durkak was chosen as the 2013 Eagle Gymnast of the Year, but Durkak was one of them.
I definitely wasn't expecting it. I didn't have the most consistent year this year.
That supposedly inconsistent year includes 4 Eagle Gymnast of the Week awards and 5 first-place finishes in the all-around competition.
I've been doing gymnastics my whole life, and now that it's my last year of it, I'm happy to get the award, and I couldn't have done it without my team.
Durkak said she started competing at age 4. Now, as a senior at UNC,
I feel that this year I've become so much better of a competitor than my last 18 years of gymnastics.
And head coach Derek Galvin agrees.
Elizabeth has been one of the top all-arounders in the history of our program, and she had another good meet tonight. We're going to miss them tremendously next year.
For the next 2 weeks, Durkak and the Heels will spend about 30 hours practicing here in Fetzer Gym C for the upcoming NCAA Regionals. The team will compete at West Virginia University April 6th.
That's the most that we've had before any meet this whole season, and so we can focus more on the details, get more numbers in.
And the Heels are working hard to advance to nationals with a little help from their very own Gymnast of the Year. In Chapel Hill, I'm Ali Macione.
This year's bid sends the Heels to the NCAA Regionals for the 12th consecutive year.
After an easy win against Virginia Tech on Friday,
women's tennis coach Brian Calbas thinks his players came out a little too self-confident Saturday against the Virginia Cavaliers.
I think that they just took things a little bit for granted today, and they don't. I think it's just human nature that things can happen like that, and I think we've had so much success, and I think we kind of expected it to happen, and it didn't happen for us today.
The top-ranked Tar Heels fell against Virginia 4-3, their second loss of the regular season. Carolina lost a doubles point, then had to win 4 of the 6 singles matches. The Heels won 3 straight singles matches to tie it up at 3 points each. But first-year Kate Vial couldn't pull out the decisive match against Cavalier senior Erin Vieira. The Heels will have a chance to get back to winning ways this Friday. They host Georgia Tech at 2:30 p.m. in the Cone Kenfield Tennis Center.
Some disappointment for the men's swimming team at the national championships, but some highlights too. Senior Tom Luxinger finished his Tar Heel career in style. He placed 5th in the 200-yard butterfly this weekend in Indianapolis. He set a school record, finishing the event in 1 minute 42 seconds and 95 hundredths of a second. He was 10th of a second from the ACC record. The Heels finished and tied for 29th place with 15 points. Jump around, familiar for a Tar Heel sports fan.
But this biker jumps on campus, not just at basketball games.
Don't forget to tune in to our sister shows, Carolina Week at 5 p.m. every Wednesday on Time Warner 24 or Campus Channel 34, and Carolina Connection at 8:30 every Saturday morning on WCHL 97.9 FM.
Packers,
Vikings, Red State, Blue State. We come from different places.
Uptown.
But when we live united, we create real lasting change in the education, income, and health of our country.
United.
Real change won't happen without you. So give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Sign up at liveunited.org.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. Got it. No?
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early. You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Bring this sweet.
Three. That's the number of games left in the NCAA tournament. Not a lot of room for improvement with your bracket. Here's a look at the Sports Extra Bracket Challenge. Senior John Morgan leads the way with 790 points. Journalism school alum Andy Reeves is in second with 740, and he's tied with Sports Extra's own Julian Caldwell. All three of them are doing better than more than 95% of the country. In last place, Sports Extra's so-called basketball expert, Mike Rodriguez, with just 410 points. That's not very good, but you know him. Okay, you might not know him, but you've definitely seen him jump over walls, rails, or even stairs on campus.
Neil Sanders is a BMX biker, and he makes the most out of every bump at Carolina. Tio Minval reports.
Neil Sanders doesn't attend classes anymore, but he keeps on going to school. He rides his BMX several times a week on campus at UNC, making jumps and trying tricks, even if his leisure activity is not really legal here.
We just started recently getting kicked off campus, so I guess it is illegal, yeah.
With a lot of stairs, benches, and small walls just like this one, our campus is the perfect place for bikers like Neil to come and practice.
I come here because there's a high concentration of obstacles in a small area, and so you don't really have to ride for long distances to get from spot to spot.
Neil started riding a BMX at the age of 12. He entered some competitions when he was younger, but then tore his ACL and had to quit for 6 years. He started riding again less than 2 years ago and now practices up to 5 days a week, exercising the special attention a BMX rider has to give to everything that surrounds him.
There's more to the landscape around you than really meets the eye. The little bumps and banks and ledges and stuff like that. It's used for more than visual aesthetics, you know.
Jumping over stuff on the bike might seem fun, but if you don't want to end up with bruises, don't try this at home. In Chapel Hill, I'm Teo Manvol.
We urge you to never try this on your own, especially if an officer from the Department of Public Safety is around.
Not only do we here at Sports Extra report about UNC athletics, but we like to play our own as well. Some Sports Extra crew members had a very important game this weekend, the Indoor Soccer Intramural Championship. The Sports Extra crew fell just short of getting that coveted t-shirt, losing 4-2. Theo Monval and Ryan O'Rourke scored Sports Extra's only 2 goals, and here's Ben Walsh to O'Rourke for the beautiful finish. Producer Mike Rodriguez kept it close with a penalty save, but the offense could never get in a rhythm. With 2 minutes remaining, this goal gave the opponents a 2-goal cushion and sealed our crew members' defeat.
Well, that does it for this edition, but wait, there's some breaking news.
It just broke. It appears James Michael McAdoo has made a decision about his basketball future. The sophomore forward will not be returning to Chapel Hill for his junior season. McAdoo averaged the second most points per game with 14 and grabbed 7 rebounds per game to lead the Heels. McAdoo is expected to go in the first round and could sneak into the lottery, first 14 picks of June's NBA draft. All right, well, that really does it for this edition of April Fool's Sports Extra, but don't worry, he didn't go to the draft.
he didn't go to the draft, at least not yet. But thanks for watching, and have a good night.